If you have fibromyalgia, you probably know the feeling all too well. That chronic puffiness, that hard to explain swelling that so often gets dismissed. Well, today we're going to dive into what that sensation really is and what your body is trying to tell you. And this, right here, just nails it, doesn't it? It captures those really personal moments, like a ring that fit perfectly yesterday suddenly feeling way too tight. These aren't just random annoyances, they're little alarms, quiet signals from your body. So, this brings us to the big question, the one you've probably asked yourself a million times, especially when a doctor can't find any measurable inflammation. You start to wonder, am I just imagining this? Is this swelling even real? The answer is a big, resounding yes. It is absolutely real. The best way to think about it is as a form of communication. It's a signal. And in this explainer, we're going to learn how to decode those signals, find some clarity, and maybe take back a little bit of control. Okay, so let's try to get to the bottom of the why. Now, the puffiness you feel with fibro isn't the same as, say, swelling from a sprained ankle, but its causes are just as real and they can be pretty complex. Think of it like a puzzle we're about to piece together. So, as you can see, there's rarely just one single culprit. It can be a whole mix of things. Maybe your body is having a tough time regulating fluids, or it could be a side effect from a medication. Sometimes hormones or something you ate are the trigger. And for others, it might be tied to lymphatic issues or even other conditions. It's usually a frustrating overlap of a few of these things. All right, this is where we get really practical. We're going to walk through a few common patterns of swelling, see if you can recognize your own experience in these descriptions, because that's the first step to understanding what your body's trying to say. Let's kick things off with an absolute classic, that feeling when you wake up and your fingers feel like little sausages. It's one of the most common complaints, and believe it or not, it tells a pretty specific story. This is so vivid. It's not just about the rings being tight, right? It's that feeling of stiffness, like your hands are slow to get going in the morning and don't quite feel like your own. That sluggish, full feeling is a really key part of this pattern. So what's it all about? Well, this often points to fluids shifting around while you sleep. It can also be a known side effect of common fibromeds like gabapentin or pregabalin. The good news is the self-care is pretty straightforward. Try taking your rings off at night, do some gentle hand stretches when you wake up, or maybe even give low-pressure compression gloves a shot. Okay, next up, let's talk about swelling that camps out in your lower legs and ankles. A huge clue for this one is that it almost always gets worse as the day goes on. You know exactly what this is. It's that telltale line your sock sleeve etched into your skin at the end of the day. It's that feeling of just dragging heavy legs around, especially if you've been sitting or standing for a while, or when the weather heats up. This has a name. It's called dependent edema. Basically, gravity is winning, pulling fluid down into your legs. It can happen from being inactive, sure, but it can also be a sign of issues with your veins or your autonomic nervous system. So, what do? Fight back against gravity. Put your legs up for a bit. Get up and take short walks to get those calf muscles working. And compression stockings can be a total game changer, but definitely talk with your doctor first to make sure you're getting the right kind. Now for a pattern that really shines a spotlight on the brain-body connection in fibromyalgia. This is when that physical feeling of puffiness shows up with its very frustrating sidekick, brain fog. If you've ever had that moment where you feel puffy, foggy, and kind of lightheaded all at the same time, this is your pattern. It's really disorienting, and it's a powerful clue that something more systemic is going on with your body's internal control panel. This combo is a huge clue pointing towards something called autonomic dysfunction. Now, that sounds complicated, but all it really means is that your body's automatic systems, the ones that control things like blood flow and fluid balance, are a little out of whack. So, what can you do? Be gentle with your body. Move slowly when you change positions, like sitting up for a bit before you stand. Make sure you're hydrated. And when that fuzzy feeling hits, just pause and take a few slow, deep breaths to help you feel more grounded. Okay, so we've decoded the patterns. Now what can we do about it? Let's build a simple, gentle self-care toolkit with strategies that can help no matter which pattern you're dealing with. First up, become a detective. Seriously, knowledge is power, and this simple tracker is your superpower. By just jotting down the when, the where, and the what's going on, you start to see your own patterns emerge. And this information is pure gold when you go to talk to your doctor. I absolutely love this because it's so doable. We're not talking about some huge, overwhelming new routine. This is less than 4 minutes. Just 1 minute of deep belly breathing, 2 minutes of a gentle walk, and 30 seconds of a light massage, always moving towards the center of your body. Anyone can squeeze this into their day. You've listened to your body, you've gathered your data. Now comes the part that can feel the most intimidating: talking to your doctor. This section is all about becoming your own best advocate. Okay, this is so important. You need to know the difference between your normal fibro puffiness and an urgent red flag. On the left is the stuff we've been talking about. It comes and goes, it might get better with self-care, but the stuff on the right, that's different. If swelling is sudden, severe, painful, warm to the touch, only on one side, or comes with a fever or chest pain, that's when you need to get medical help right away. To make that doctor's visit as productive as it can be, you've got to go in prepared. Bring that symptom tracker we talked about, have a list of all your meds ready, and here's a pro tip: take pictures. A photo showing the difference in your ankles from morning to night can speak volumes. And if you're not sure how to even start the conversation, you can literally use this script. It's clear, it's to the point, and it gives your doctor all the key info they need. It changes the conversation from a vague, "I feel puffy," to a focused, "let's investigate this specific pattern." It makes you a partner in your own healthcare. So let's just take a breath and bring this all home. I know it's exhausting to live in a body that's constantly sending these confusing and uncomfortable signals. But I want you to remember that the puffiness you feel is a valid signal. It's real. And that really brings us to the biggest takeaway here: learning to listen to your body with curiosity instead of fear. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What is one signal your body is sending you today? And how can you listen with just a little more kindness?